Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So in today's video, we have a new part to fit on the rear of my Evo 10, and it is actually over here. It's been sitting for a little while now. Probably may have seen it in a few of my previous videos leaning against the wall here. But yeah, so it's this Varis style diffuser. It's definitely not a genuine Varis diffuser. I believe it's from Carbonetics, and yeah, it's a nice looking item. I picked this up for a really good price because it's not in the greatest condition. You can probably see here, yeah, not looking the best, sort of falling apart here. Missing a heap of bolts all the way in the sides here. And yeah, could use a good cleanup. I have washed it, and it did actually look a lot worse than this before. So I've washed it. The main parts you'll only see really are sort of here. So what I'm thinking is I'm going to try and fit it up today, just test fit it, and yeah, then I may pull it off, grab the polisher out and polish it, and then ceramic coat it. But yeah, the reason why I say I'm going to try and test fit it is I don't think it's going to work with my OEM rear spats, and I really like the look of these. But at the price that I picked that up for, I figured it was worth a try, basically. So if I can get both to fit, that's great. If I can't, I can potentially just run one. So I think I'll have to pull the rear spats off to fit it, but I'm just going to try and see if I can get it on with them still there. If not, I'm going to pull them off because I have been wanting to pull them off and refit them for a while anyway, because I didn't do the best job of fitting them. I kind of lined it up to here rather than pushing it all the way forward and all the way up. So obviously it's not sitting right. You can see that gap there. It's been like that the whole time. It's not coming off, but yeah, it's always annoyed me. So I've been meaning to do that. So yeah, I may pull those off and fit the diffuser. I may just leave them on and try and work it out. But so basically it came with some brackets I've got in this bag and a bunch of bolts. So I bought a few more. It's because it's missing quite a few bolts off the diffuser that I showed you. I did buy a few more that I can fit on there, sort of hold it together a little bit better. But yeah, so that's going to be today's job. So what I need to do is lift the rear of the car up in the air so I can easily crawl underneath and work out how it all fits. The previous owner of it that I bought it off, he did actually show me how it all mounts up. It was a couple of months ago now though, so I kind of forget one of the locations, but yeah, I'll get underneath the car, I'll have a look, work it out again, and yeah, we'll see if we can get it to work with the rear spats. If not, we'll pull them off, we'll fit the diffuser, we'll work out which we like better. Definitely not going to sell these ever. These are an OEM part that was really hard to find. So I'm going to keep those, but I may put them aside and run this one for a little while I work out which option I prefer. But so yeah, that is enough talking. Let's get to the job of lifting this rear of the car up into the air so we can crawl underneath and see what we need to do. Okay, so got the rear of the car up in the air. I did film an update that didn't get any audio, so just quickly update you guys. So you can see I've got these two brackets in. You can probably only see one. But so that is a 12mm bolt that goes into where the sway bar bolt's in. So there's one of those either side. I've just hand tightened basically that bracket there. And then we had these two clips here that hold the diffuser on. So they're just plastic clips that we just remove with a little trim removal tool or clip removal tool. So I've pulled those out, and then one of these other brackets goes into those. Not sure which one yet, I just can't remember, but I know that that long one had to go there. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to lift the diffuser up, which I have laying on the ground underneath at the moment, and just put something underneath it to kind of hold it in place so I can line it up with that bracket and then work out which, because it's going to be this mount here that's going to go into there, which bracket uses that. Alright, so here's where we're at. So you can see, oh, let's see one. I have bracket in, I have the bolt through it. So the back is lined up, so I had them around the wrong way, I had to spin them around. So if you're ever doing this, the smaller part of the bracket goes at the top, and the longer bend, I guess you'd call it, goes at the bottom, and then it will line up. So spin around here. So you can see I've loosely got those bolts in there. So it's looking like there's a possibility it will work with the spats. It's going to be kind of pressing against the spats at the edge, but I'm going to give it a try. I know it has to go up a lot higher than that. It basically sits up against this diffuser at the bottom, but when I was tightening the bolt on the other side, I did sort of lift it into what would be its place, and it almost kind of works. So yeah, I'm gonna see before I go pulling these spats off if I can work it. But yeah, so now I need to work out how I mount it at the back using these two ones. So it's going to be, I don't know, one of these brackets, I think this one. But I'll get those in and I'll update you guys the same as I did this time once it's all tightened, and see where we're at from there. Alright guys, so it's a little bit later. Just to confirm, I'm sure if I filmed these brackets already, but so I've tightened everything at the back. So I've tightened the bolt that goes into the sway bar mounting point, and I've tightened that bolt into the diffuser that connects to that bracket. So that's all tight at the back on both sides. I've put these two brackets in. So if I go, hopefully you can see that. So those are both in and both tight. So that's just a bolt up through the diffuser mounting point, and I've angled them both towards this hole here. So it's going to be tight. Basically, when I try and push it up, it's like I'm in the process, I'm about to put this bolt in here, but I just thought I'd show you guys. So I'm pushing it up, and I can kind of get it to sit up, but it's really pushing against the bottom of that spat. So it's going to be super tight. I'm thinking about trimming a bit off here, maybe even just at this section here, but then I don't know how we'll go for like sort of reselling it in the future. So I couldn't see the camera there, I'm unsure, but yeah, I'm thinking cutting a little section out here might work. It's also hitting against here, but that shouldn't matter. Maybe that's just because I'm kind of pushed up against. And also the exhaust, you probably can't see. So that's actually also hitting. It's previously been cut out for an exhaust, but obviously not mine. So if I just cut a little section there, then it should be okay. It's enough of a gap there, I just don't want it touching, so that'll be easy enough to trim. I'll just grab the Dremel and trim that. But I just really want to see if I can get this. Like, I mean, you can see, if you can see through that bolt, you can see that's the mounting bracket. So if I can just get a bolt in there and tighten that, it's a lot of pressure, but I kind of feel like it can work, because I haven't seen this diffuser with the OEM spats both fitted together before, so it will be interesting if I can get it. But yeah, so that's enough of showing you what I'm going to be doing. Let's see if I can actually do it, and I'll let you guys know if I do end up trimming just that little piece off on the corner, which I think I'll do. I don't think it's going to hurt resale value, because yeah, I'll probably end up selling this piece eventually. But yeah, I'm just going to go for it. I'm going to see if I can get it to work. If I can, that's great. If not, I'll trim it, and then it should work regardless. But so I will pick this back up once I have yeah, a bit more of an update for you guys. Alright guys, so yeah, this is where we got to, and I'm calling it. This just is a fail. It's just not going to fit. So had to take the side plates off because it was actually pushing up too much against the rear spats. I was going to take these off, I was going to trim them or just leave them off. So I've got those off both sides. I've undone this section here just so I had a little bit more room. But so here's the issue. I have this single exit exhaust which has the huge tip, and normally, say if you have a dual exit, it's a lot smaller, so this would possibly fit, but here you can see, not sure if you can, that's the bolt. So let me turn the light on. So there's the bolt, there's the bracket. Need to somehow get that, like I can get it, I can light it through, but then get that. Oh, well, there's the nut, the bolt. These have to line up, and that has to go on top of there. So I can get it to go through. That would sit like that. But then I have no way of getting my hand through and tightening the nut onto this bolt. It's just not happening. I've tried so many times, so many ways. And I was talking to a friend who has a similar setup, and he said he had to make custom brackets. He also had to trim a lot of stuff to make it fit with the rear spats and with this exhaust. So, and after sort of looking at it, I kind of think I like the spats more. I think I prefer the cleaner look. So rather than cutting this thing up, spending money on brackets, and then having it, so this is basically how it would look. I think I'm just going to pull it back off and sell it. Now I knew this was a possibility when I bought it, that it may not fit, and I was going to have to, you know, like I said, start to take the spats off and try to run it without. And after sort of looking at photos of, whenever I see an Evo 10 without the spats, I think it looks a little bit plain, like I think it sort of needs them. They sort of really pull the lines of the car together. And then even if it does have an aftermarket diffuser, it still kind of feels like it's missing something. I think it just needs something in the lower section of the rear bumper. So yeah, when I was starting to consider taking those off, trying to fit this with those side plates, or end plates, whatever you want to call it, yeah, I've started just sort of second guessing. So I'm getting a good look at how it would look, and yeah, I just don't think it is for me. It's extra weight on the car as well. Not that it weighs a lot, but I mean, basically any excuse I can to give up, basically, because this bolt, it's just not happening. Yeah, I was going to wait for Letitia to get home and see if she could somehow help me. Like you can see, I've put tape onto the bolt so it stays in place. At least that's not falling out every time. So that stays in place. I just press it up. I pull the bracket into place, but then it's the issue of I then have no way of getting that bolt on. And even if I do get it on, I can't get tools in there to tighten it. I don't want to go pulling my exhaust off, because then the diffuser's on. How am I going to get the exhaust back on? It's just, yeah, it's just not going to work without some sort of custom bracket. Pull it back off the car completely, put the pieces back together that I've taken off, and yeah, I'm going to put this up for sale in a local Lancer group and possibly sell it straight away. So yeah, that's going to be it for today's video. Massive fail, but can't win them all. So I hope you guys enjoyed laughing at my pain. And yeah, if let me know what you think. Do you think I made a mistake? Should I have just tried to fit it? Because the more I look at it, the more I'm thinking I just prefer the clean look, and I'm possibly going to just get an OEM diffuser in carbon fiber instead, is what I'm thinking now. I just don't want to overdo the carbon on the back, because I've already got the carbon boot. I don't know if that would be too much. That's why I thought this might work, because it's a little bit more subtle rather than this entire thing being carbon and then carbon right above. So yeah, I'll play around with that, but either way, this is coming off the car. So yeah, hope you guys did enjoy. Definitely help me out, give me a like. I failed hard here. At least give me a couple of likes and some comments. Subscribe to the channel. Anything you can to make this video do a little bit better. But yeah, so pull all this back off, that's going to be me for the day. Until next time, I will catch you guys later.